12 games in, top of the league. So far, things are looking pretty good. Hey everybody, and welcome to part 3 of the Deportivo Coruña save here on FM24. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where we have 2 games in the 3rd tier of Spanish football for you. The first one is against Gimnastic away from home, and then we've got a home game against ASTON Logroñés. I might be pronouncing that more French than I am Spanish. Apologies, you know my pronunciation isn't great. And if you are excited to see how we get on in these 2 games and to hear more of my terrible pronunciation, then do not forget to leave a big like on the video for me. And don't forget to subscribe as well. It is completely free to do so, and you'll make me a very happy chap. Since you were last with us, it's been going swimmingly well. I mean, you can see the table over here. I'll make it a bit bigger so we can have a proper look at it. As you can see, as things stand, second only because Barcelona have played a game in hand and they're 2 points ahead. So if we win our game in hands, we go straight above them, which would be delightful. We are the form team in the league at the moment. We are rightfully kind of put everything in balance. We're top, basically. It's the way I kind of like to look at it. Only the 1 loss so far, 3 draws and 8 wins. Really, really good result. There are no teams with an unbeaten record. Up until a couple of days ago, Sociedad B were 6 wins, 6 draws, and that was it. No losses, unbeaten, but decidedly not very good at closing games out. But that is how the table is currently looking on our side of it. Obviously, it isn't the only side. We also have this side of it. At the moment, Real Madrid Castilla, their feeder team, is currently doing the business. Malaga, who I was expecting to be the team to be top, in the same position as us, actually. If they win their game in hand, they go top. So it could be us and Malaga getting promoted to the 2nd tier of Spanish football next season as things stand. But yeah, as far as things have gone so far, pretty good. We obviously won the first 2 games 7-0. I'm still blown away by that. The month of September was a little bit more ropey. Only the 2 wins, but we only lost 1 game, which is the most important thing. And then the month of October was beautiful. A draw against Sociedad B, and then we beat everyone after that. Lovely stuff. But today we come up for the first game against Gimnastic, and this is the team we're going to be using to hopefully, fingers crossed, get 3 points. It is Pereno in goal, Adot, Sanchez, Martinez and Balenciaga in defence, Vasquez and Valares in the midfield with Joaquin, Valcarce and Ontiveros supporting Perez up front. Quick word before we do start though. Perez, fantastic. Valcarce, fantastic. And the 2 wide boys as well. I know I kind of mocked myself for bringing in wingers when we didn't really need any. No, I think we did need them because they've been superb, both of them. The midfielders kind of been a bit here or there. It's been fine, nothing too great. And the defence has been what it is as well. There's nothing spectacular there, but the attacking part of our team, oh, chef's kiss. Absolutely superb. Right, well, let's see whether we can get 3 points. I'd very much like that. I mean, whether we will or not is another matter. But at the moment, it is looking good for a promotion. We're not dominance. We have had that wobble in September. And when I say wobble, it was fine. We only lost 1 game, but it is worth kind of keeping in mind that we didn't exactly have everything our own way in that period. So, you know, we'll take everything as it comes. We'll take everything that comes to us with a pinch of salt as well. But at the moment, I'm pretty happy with how things are going. If it can carry on like this, even better. I mean, we've started off this game looking like the better team, but shading it. I mean, their passing is actually a bit better than ours, but we're definitely doing better in possession, and we're having the chances as well, although they have the first highlight and the first goal. That is not how I was hoping this was going to go. Gimnastic managed to, I was going to say acrobatically, I mean, he jumped for a corner. It wasn't acrobatic. I was trying to make a pun there, but either way, they lead by a 1-0, and that is obviously not ideal. So we're just going to encourage the boys and try and get something from this game. We're more than good enough to kind of turn this game around completely, but we do need to get the ball off of them in order to do that. And at the moment, their possession seems to be well, I say that, our possession has been high, but they've done more with their possession. We've just let them come in there, and they've gone and scored again. Oh, this is not a good start. This is not a good start at all. This is really, really not a good start. I mean, the gap between defender and left back there is atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. I'm demanding more this time. We do have a corner, though. We do have a corner. I will say, actually, in terms of our corners, we don't have that many tall people in. And Pablo has to put that in the back of the net, but it is another corner. We've not got the tallest team. So, actually, a lot of our set-piece routines are actually set to, well, they're not set fully to short distribution, but I have got them with short distribution routines that are in heavy rotation because we do need them. We have been woeful in this game. We look tired as anything, and we're not. We've had a 7-day break since our last game, so there's no reason at all why we should be playing like this. Now, what I will say is, I haven't touched Football Manager in over a week because I've had a little break away. So it might be that the game is punishing me for that break. However, Lucas Perez has gone and pulled us a goal back. It is 2-1. It's his 11th of the season. We're back in the game, and we've still got a good chunk of it left. So this is good to see. Right. Valares gets himself out of a tight situation. Valcarce puts it over to Ontiveros. Ontiveros feeds it through. And Lucas, via the hand of the goalkeeper, makes it 2-1. We're back in it. We're back in it, but we need to do more. We need to do more. We have a free kick now. Ontiveros over it. He can put this top bins. I don't know about top bins, but he had a very good attempt at it, and he's actually won us another corner. So let's see if we can make something from this one and get all square before half time. That'd be fantastic. It's whipped in. Yeah, our set pieces are not spectacular, especially our corners are not spectacular because we just don't have a lot of height. Like, we've got players over 6 foot, but it's 6'1", like 6'2", if that. Like, we don't have any really tall lads, which is the one thing I wish we had in the team. Our defence is paper thin today. The keeper's having a shocker. The keeper was meant to be decent when we started as well, but he's having a shocker. The defenders are having a shocker. I mean, I'm fully going on berate now because that's atrocious. The defence has been atrocious, and I've talked up the wide guys. Ontiveros has been okay. Joaquin has been anonymous. I'm actually going to throw the water bottle. I'm shouting at the keeper, which is probably not the best of ideas. Sanchez has not had a good game. Adot has not had a good game. Balenciaga, I think, has been quite shocking. Vasquez has not been good. Joaquin should be doing better than he is. The front boys are fine, though. I think we need to make some changes. I mean, I'd like to take Pereno off, but I don't have anyone who's good enough, quite frankly. Well, Vasquez was going to be a central defender, and then I changed him to a midfielder last minute because Hugo Rama picked up a knock. But I'm actually going to bring on Hugo Rama. No, I'm not going to bring on Rama. I'm going to bring on Angel because Angel has been really the guy who started in the midfield for the majority of the season so far. Adot is going to come off for Navarro. That's change number 2. And I don't really want to take Joaquin off, but we have to do something. So I'm going to bring on the youngster David Mella and just hope that kind of sparks us into life a little bit. We've gone attacking. Defensively, we've been woeful. Genuinely woeful. So we need to do something that's going to stop them doing that. I'm actually going to push the line up higher because they've not been getting in behind us. They've been playing through us. So let's try and push them up the pitch a little bit more. And let's just see whether that'll work. Because we played better than them. Well, we had more chances. I don't know about play better, but that's not a good start. So let's try and get something out of this game now. We've had more chances than them. Let's try and get some more chances back. Right. We win the ball. Mella now, the youngster. I say youngster. I don't know how young he is, but I know he's relatively young. I called him up from one of the either the under-19s or the B team. I don't know which one it was actually. I think it was the under-19s. Either way, we called him up. He's not a regular. And he's got a little bit of potential. Not loads of it, but he's got a little bit. We're second to every ball today. That's a bit of a concern. Mella tries to do well there. We managed to get the ball back finally here. And now we need to get moving because we can't waste any time if we want to get something out of this game. Even if it's not a win, I'll take a draw. I will take a draw. Right, Mella now. Into Valares. Valares, he's going to go for one. He is, and he's pulled another one back. And it's 3-2. Right. Equaliser on the cards. It's taken us all of 3 minutes to get back into this game after the kick-off for the second half. It's a defensive midfielder who's brought the goods. Right. And again, please, boys. And again. Because at the moment, Barcelona B are knocking us off the top. And it's Barcelona B. They're going to be relentless. Kind of like Real Madrid in the other side of the division. We need to be really on top of everything. They've been so good today. They will feel like we've done an absolute job on them. Right, we have a free kick. Ontiveros. I'm not going to say it. I thought I might have unjinxed it by not saying stick it top bins. Obviously, he didn't stick it top bins. But we've ended up not really making much of that. It was a decent enough free kick, but we couldn't get on the rebound of it. Right. We need to really get something here. We have a corner. It's whipped in by Antaveros. And Paulo Martinez, after I've said our set pieces are shoddy, has gone and equalised. It's his first goal for us. It's 3-3. We're back in it. A point is on the cards. And Gimnastic, quite frankly, can flip off. Yes, that's a terrible pun. I don't really care. Right. Goodness me. Right, we made 3 changes at half time. We've still got some we can make. I'm going to take Balenciaga off. I'm going to bring Barcia on. Even though he's not a left back, I am going to bring him on. And he can play there. And then I'll save my final change now. I mean, I'd like to make a goalkeeper change, but I don't think Suarez... It's not fair of me to bring him on. He's just not good enough. So we'll make that change. And let's just see the game out with what we've got. And just keep an eye on fitness. Got a highlight. We've got a highlight. Right, Navarro into Valcarce. Valcarce into Valares. Come on, boys. Sanchez now. Martinez. Current hero of the game. He's one of the heroes. We could get another one if we score again. Right, Sanchez now. Into Angel. Angel looking for someone to make a run. He gets it to Mella. Mella's gone for it. Mella went for it and hit the top of the net. You could argue maybe he should have passed it, but fair play to him. That was a great effort. Right. Fitness. Valares is tiring. Valcarce is tiring. I am going to take off Valcarce. He's not really done a lot in this game. So let's bring on... I'm thinking Peque, maybe. Get him some minutes. Or do we go with Kayaga? Kayaga's 27. Peke's younger. He's like 20 years old, and I think he's got potential. Let's bring on Peque. Get him a few minutes out there. A little bit of youthful exuberance at 20 years old. Just trying to see the game out. Germain's had an awful game. We're going to have a word with him. I mean, we've saved ourselves there, but Barcelona B now go ahead of us with all games level. It wasn't a good performance at all. There were some good performances in the performance, but it wasn't a good performance at all. Now, I will say, Gimnastic, they are in the top 5. So, I'll ease up on the team a little bit, but I'm still not very happy. I'm still not very happy at all. And the first thing I'm doing is going to that goalkeeper and having a word with him, because he, in the last few games actually, has really not been good. Recent form... I'm going to say that one. And yeah. Can I set a target for him? Okay, fine. He doesn't want me to set a target, but he knows he's done bad. I don't actually know. What's his recent form like? Conceded 3, conceded 2, conceded 1. His recent 3 games haven't been that good, so he really does need to step things up. It's gone down half a star as well. After that performance, I'm not surprised. Right, well, that was fun. We've got another week to go. We've got the game against Logroñés. I keep going Logroñé, but that would be more French. Logroñés is next. It's at home. Hopefully, that means we can have a bit of an easier time than that ridiculousness that was the 3-3. I will say, though, we came back, and I'm proud of us for doing that. But really, we need to be getting as many wins as possible before we come against Barcelona B. I probably should have come back for Barcelona B, if I'm being honest with you, but it is what it is. Right, I'll see you in a moment. And hopefully we can get 3 points in the next game. Well, I've resisted making the sweeping changes that I really wanted to, which includes keeping Pereno in goal. But this is the 11 we're going to be using for the next game against Logroñés, who currently are near the bottom of the league. It is Pereno in goal, Adot, Sanchez, Martinez and Balenciaga in defence, Angel and Valares in the middle with Joaquin, Valcarce and Ontiveros supporting Perez up front. It's a very similar team to what we normally go with. It's one of them. We're going to go with what I consider to be our best team, and that is the 11 that's out there. I mean, Vasquez had a poor game. He's the only one who I'd be tempted to put in there, but we're not going to do that. We're going to stick with this. So fingers crossed, we can get a good result. Fingers crossed. I have also been doing some tweaking with our backroom team as well. I have got an offer out for a new assistant manager. The assistant manager at the moment, who we've got in contract talks with us, is a guy called Luis Garcia. If that name rings a bell, it should do, because he played for Liverpool back in the kind of the 2000s, that kind of period. He's the guy who took the number 10 shirt from Michael Owen when he left. So yeah, he's more potentially our assistant manager coming up soon. We're just trying to make sure that we've got everything going for us going forward in the save, so we can try and build a club that can really sustain itself and survive in the future. Speaking of which, we've also asked if we can upgrade our youth recruitment, because everything at the moment's good. That's the lowest part. That's like above average. So if we can improve that, obviously our youth recruitment and bringing the young players in and developing them will get better. So that's what I'm hoping will happen. What I'm also hoping will happen is that we're going to score, because at the moment it's 0-0. We have dominated the game, but that doesn't mean anything unless we actually put the ball in the back of the net. So let's hope that we can. Right, Sanchez now gets it out wide to Adot, into Joaquin. Joaquin now looking for options, gets it into Valcarce. Valcarce looking for options, goes past a couple of men. He looked for Lucas, but Lucas just didn't commit to the run. Kind of wish he did, but well, I was going to say counter-attack. It wasn't a counter-attack. They got the ball, they passed it straight back to us. I've also changed both of the fullbacks. Balenciaga and Adot. Well, Adot actually isn't on one, but Balenciaga definitely. And the other right-back that we have in the team are now both fullbacks rather than wing-backs. Balenciaga is going to be that. Paris Adot is still a wing-back at the moment, but the other two are fullbacks, because they're the preferred positions that they have. Right, short corner action there. Ontiveros now whipping it in, looking for Sanchez, making a late run, but could not get up and past the defender and get a shot on target. We still got possession here, though. Angel gets it into Sanchez, but the highlight ends. Really good first half in terms of momentum, in terms of chances, in terms of possession, in terms of passes completed, in terms of XG, everything except a goal. They are obviously doing a really good defensive job on us, which is a bit frustrating. Right, if we can win the ball here and get forward, here we go. Valcarce manages to win it. Valcarce with those youthful 30-year-old legs. Get it into Ontiveros now. Look at the space out wide. He hasn't found him, but he's found him now. Ontiveros gets it to Lucas, and it is 1-0. It's a little bit scrappy, and I thought we ballsed it up, but we didn't. We ended up getting it in the back of the net, making it 1-0, which is delightful. Deportivo La Coruña 1, Logroñés 0. It's here. Ontiveros, I'm just worried that he's messed his chance up. It's Valcarce, sorry, who gets the pass away in the end. Ontiveros, we know that he's not consistent. Maybe this is one of his not very good games. He's very, very, very fortunate that Valcarce was there with his eyes open, doing what playmakers should. Gets the ball through to his main striker, and Lucas gets it in the back of the net. Perez makes it 1-0. We could breathe a little bit, although we do need more than that. Definitely do need more than that. At the moment, Logroñés 17th, that is where they started the day anyway, so they're not really affected by the loss. They're still in trouble. I'm going to say I'm happy that we've dominated possession. I want to G them up a little bit, so I'm going to tell him that he's not played well enough. Joaquin as well, if I'm being honest. Joaquin really hasn't shown me a lot as well. Angel not really playing that well, so we'll have a word with him. Martinez in centre-back, not doing great. Everyone else is doing a fine job. The keeper's doing an okay job. Touch wood so far. Hopefully, he can continue that. Hopefully. Probably not now I've said it. Probably jinxed it. That's usually how these things go. But time will tell. I am thinking Martinez might come off, though, along with Ontiveros. They're the two that are on my radar to be taken off. Neither of them having good games today, so maybe just giving them a bit of a breather wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. What also wouldn't be the worst idea is getting a second goal. I'd really like a second goal if that's okay, but at the moment, well, I was about to say at the moment, they look more likely because they've got the ball, but now we've got it. Right. Valcarce out to Adot. Adot now, who again, still playing at that wing-back position, doing really well with those older legs getting into the box, and he gets it through to Joaquin, and Joaquin makes it 2-0. Lovely. It is the danger score. We've talked about this before on the channel. We've talked about 2-0. It is a really, really difficult score to have because you just don't know what's going to happen. But it is better than 1-0, and I feel a bit better now. Joaquin makes it 2. I'm a happy chap. Right, I am going to make those two changes that I mentioned because they're still just bothering me that they're not playing well. Martinez off. I'll bring Vasquez on. Let's get him some minutes. And I'm also going to take Ontiveros off for... We'll bring Mellor on. get him some more minutes as well. He actually prefers to play out there. We are training him to play on the other side, but let's just get him some more minutes. He actually did lighten things up in the last game. I don't know if he's directly responsible for us to get the draw, but he certainly played a part in it. He certainly looked sharp when he came on, so let's see if he can have a decent performance today. Right, Sanchez, who is one of the defenders who started the game, gets it through to Adot, into Joaquin now. Joaquin back to Angel. Angel looking for options. Into Villares. Villares back to Sanchez. Sanchez now into Angel. Pablo has already got a yellow card in the central defence. I mean, that's ridiculous. Joaquin's in the box here, by the way. What a pass that is from Paris. Into Angel, into Villares. He scored a long shot last time. He scored a long shot today. Diego Villares makes it 3. Results, that will do. Apologies, I've had a drink and something's got caught in my throat, so I do have to keep pausing every now and then just to break for a cough. 3-0, I'm much happier with that. I feel a little bit more relaxed, especially after the last game's shenanigans as well. But just lovely little pass the parcel here. And Villares, who did score a goal very similar to that in the last game, gets another one in this one. Bit of a weapon on the edge of the area, maybe Villares. I don't know what his long shooting is like. I don't necessarily think it's that much to write home about. I mean, it's 12, which I suppose at this level is not bad. But still, I'm a bit surprised he's just banging, I won't go as far as to say world is in, but banging shots from that range in. But I'm certainly not against it. Very much not. Right, substitute o'clock. Let's make those final couple of changes. I've just interrupted the highlight, which feels like a cardinal sin. Right, Villares is actually going to come off, because although he's played well, he is also tired. So Rama is going to come on for the last little bit. I'm also thinking Paris is going to come off for Navarro. We'll get a few more minutes under Navarro at fullback. And then I don't really know what I want to do for the final change. I might take Balenciaga off, actually. I will bring the youngster Baracal on and get him some minutes too. That feels like a sensible thing to do. Bleeding in the youth, that feels like a really smart option. We've already brought Mella on. Let's bring Baracal on as well. I don't really like the fact that they're running forward here, but we've managed to get it off of them, which is delightful. Right, Valcarce now, whose name I've said like 5 different times, I think, into Joaquin, back to Villares, and Villares nearly scored another one, and I'd have had to keep him on at that point. Like, I would not have been able to justify taking him off if he'd have scored a worldie there. But Rama does come on. The change has been completed. And I think we're seeing this one out relatively comfortably. They have had chances, don't get me wrong, but we're playing an attacking game. We are going to be conceding chances. It's just how we deal with them. And looking at the XG, particularly the XG chart, I think we've dealt with them very well. That'll do. 3-0. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. That was good. I'm very happy with that indeed. Whew, yay. And that keeps us a point behind Barcelona B. Barcelona B, they won their game 3-1. So, you know, it is what it is. I don't exactly know what will happen if Barcelona B win the league. Because if they win the league, I'm assuming they don't get promoted. Okay, I've just done a little bit of a Google, and it turns out Barcelona B can actually win this league and get promoted into the Segunda Division. So they, Sociedad and all the other B teams are direct rivals to us this season. Next season it would be trickier, but yeah, I just assumed that they wouldn't be able to go any higher than they are, because I just assumed they'd be that level anyway, but apparently not. I mean, let's have a quick nose at their domestic leagues. So they've been at this level for a little while, and you can see the last time they were in La Liga 2 was there, but then they've also been in this second division B3, because I know there was a bit of a restructure, wasn't there? So yeah, they are usually a La Liga 2 team, so they're actually going to be one of the favourites, just like we are, which is why they're high up. I mean, let's have a quick nose at the season preview again. We're still top. Barcelona B are actually the next ones, so that makes a lot of sense. It's interesting, however, we're the favourites. The dream team is full, absolutely full of Barcelona B players, which is ridiculous to see. And we've got them coming up. I mean, I'm kind of regretting the choice of games, to be honest with you, for today's video, because really, this is the game we should have come back. But of course, we will be playing them in the next part of the season. Trilly, by the way, is a former player of Deportivo La Coruña. He came from us to them after playing 21 games for us. So I don't know whether he's got a bit of a future. He does indeed. I mean, he might be someone we try and get back at some point, just to have one of those players back. I mean, I don't know whether any of these are the big boys who are getting any fitness back. I mean, I'm assuming that it works like that. Maybe it doesn't, but I mean, I've got a feeling we're going to struggle when we come up against them, because they're going to be a decent team. But anyway, that's for us to worry about another day. For today, I think we can kind of sit back, relax, and have a look at this table and be really happy with where we are. Yes, we're not top. We're 1 point behind Barcelona B, but we have lost less games than them. I can't get my words out at all today. We've lost less games than them. It's by the draws that really we're behind them, and just it's the unfortunateness of that 3-3. We just were not at the races for the first half. If we played like we did in the second half, we would be top of the table by 2 points right now. But we need to learn from that, and we need to improve from that. But a clean sheet in the last game, 3 goals. Perez on top of the goal charts, on top of the average rating charts. Joaquin in and around the assists as well. We've got our goalkeeper in and around the clean sheets, and Ontiveros has got the most player of the matches in the league. That will do. Right, we will come back, I think, in the month of... there's no point coming back in January, I don't think. We might come back somewhere in this kind of period here, January, February. We will have, I think, Copa del Rey. We will. It begins then. So, I'm assuming... no, we enter in December. So if we're still in the Copa del Rey, we'll come back probably for a game around there. If we're not, then we won't. And we'll come back again in that kind of January to February part of the season. That feels like the best plan to me. So, that's what we'll do. But until then... thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to leave a big like on the video if you have enjoyed. And don't forget to subscribe. It is completely free to do so. And you'll catch me doing daft stuff, saying daft things. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers.